Welcome to another Railroads Online Showcase video, M.I.A. edition. We are back today to take a ride on the Lookout Express to go all the way up to the top of a mountain that's behind this building here. And yeah, that means first up going up to the coal mine and then continuing further up and going through a lot more switchbacks. The train that we have here consists of two small porters. Number 9.1 the Hound on this end and number 9.2 Master on this end and a little caboose in the middle. This is all just so I can actually go from one engine to the next one without having to jump off the train or something. So this should be quite convenient, even though there's a bit of a step involved. But I couldn't find a better car that be more on the height of a porter, so caboose it is. I mean, I could have gone with one of the plantation cars, but that really wouldn't have fit unless I find a way to stick some banks or something, or benches, I mean, to them. But anyways, let's just get going. The engines are preheated and I just needed to loosen the brakes. Make sure that the regulators are go, or the reversers go the correct direction. And then we should be on our way. I hope I have all the switches set, we'll see in a moment. That seems to be good for now. And also I didn't even test this at all, so I hope this is going to work. I tested the Betsy on the 10% increase and Betsy alone can do that. So I guess two of them should be able to deal with one caboose. I mean, I hope so. Building the whole track further up into the mountain was quite the challenge. I knew I was going to need a lot of switchbacks, but I tried to avoid making them like in the middle of way of the mountain. One or two of them are still that way. You're going to see what I mean in a moment. It doesn't look that amazing, but there is very limited space in order to deal with the entire thing. And yeah, I tried my best. Cool thing is, since this is a step up, I can just stand behind the engine and look over it to see what's happening. Starting off with, I think this is a 7% incline until we get up to the coal mine. And only from that point on where we won't have any industrial trains going up anymore. That's when we are actually going, the engine's already having a bit of an issue. Let's put the other one into gear as well. Yeah, only from above the coal mine we are going up to 10%, and I hope these engines can do that. It would be a shame climbing up that snail pace, and I think for the sake of this video I would then just go and walk. I was also considering on maybe not even having something in the middle, but since this is supposed to be a passenger train for a bit of an adventure, I mean you need some way for passengers to sit in here and just enjoy the view. There's even a little oven. So in case it snows or something, I could deal with that. Or even just go on top here and have a look around. It's nice. I was also considering on maybe activating weather or day-night cycle for this video. I could do that in the future for some of the stuff, but I think in general, if I maybe want to do something at nighttime, it might be better to only have nighttime and not also activate weather, because it can make it really dark. At the end of the night time you can at least still see stuff, but otherwise, if night and weather comes together, it's getting pitch black a lot of the time. So we are going over here real quick. I mean, after all, this is not a gear train, so the engine should be a bit quicker than the climaxes. And there we have the first switchback, the only one up to the coal mine station, which in itself works as another switchback. And you can maybe see about the center of the screen there's a little overhang bit there. That's what I mean with stuff that didn't really stick to the mountain. I don't know if I can completely remove that kind of stuff, but I tried rebuilding the entire line a few times in order to get it to only happen the least amount of times as possible. I first up tried building it from the bottom up, then later down the line from the top down again, meet in the middle, even rebuild the top platform a few times in order to try and make it work the best I could. But yeah, at the end of the day, the top is very narrow, so getting all the way up there. Maybe I should have done something like a footpath for the last few meters, but yeah, it is what it is right now. Another thing that I'd like to mention, I moved over to having some plantation cars on the... and to shut off one of the engines already. I moved over to having some plantation cars on the train that goes up to supply the coal mine. Just gonna break in here. Should be stopping rather soon. The plantation cars, for some reason, they really cannot take too much acceleration, too much braking, and they constantly derail. So I don't know if I wanna keep it that way. Might have to find another solution here. But that's gonna remain to be seen. So go in the opposite direction now. And this should be good for the next bit. It's really only becoming more interesting once we get past the coal mine and onto the timber center. But I hope the two engines can deal with that. The plantation car is not too great, but I like having something that can deliver the resources at the right ratio. So maybe in the future I need to stick them past right of one of the engines, or maybe in the middle of the train, so the engines don't push through the plantation cars in order to push the stake cars, but instead have some stake cars to push first, and the force in really should hopefully be a bit less. But we'll have to see how I deal with that. Yeah, up there that's the beginning of the new line. It's quite a doozy. Especially with the bridge we are about to see. I think the bridge is a little bit ridiculous once we get there, but it works. And I think up there that's going to be the upper platform. But that's more of a journey than it looks from here right now. Going below the bridge now. Oh, maybe the caboose was the wrong choice here. It doesn't seem to have enough headroom. So stopping the engines. Pulling the brakes. We are past the switch. Oh, exactly. So yeah, I replaced the middle part of the switch over here. So we can now just flip it over to the other side. Loosen the brakes. Get the reverser into the right position. Let's take a look at the supplies here. Maybe a bit more firewood is needed. I don't want to run out of pressure on the way up. That would be disastrous. So now we are on our way further up the mountain. And it can also see that the caboose is higher than the clearing below the bridge. The hitbox doesn't matter here, but still, I don't know if I can rebuild that in a different way. It would be really tight getting a bit more distance to the ground out of that before I need to transition into the bridge. Okay, seems to be working pretty well. We are at the first switchback of our exploration only track. Need to hit the brakes rather quickly. That was a bit too slow apparently. Yeah, that's gonna be a bit of a problem because these switch bays are not particularly long. So I need to be more on the lookout for that kind of stuff. And as per usual, some of these switches, I try to add some groundwork, but it's kinda dodgy. As you would expect with there being no real way to do this apart from the regular groundwork, and that certainly doesn't work with this part here, being on the side of a mountain and all. So let's go back the other way. Lose the brakes. And maybe once the next one comes up, just very quickly get rid of one of the engines. So that as long as we are still on the slope, it should cut the power enough to slow down at least a bit. Because going full speed onto the switchback is not gonna work. We are already quite a bit up from the coal mine, as we can see here. I'm gonna try cutting the power now. Oh yeah, that's slowing way down. That's good. And I think that's the switchback. So now we just need to clear the switch. I still haven't put down all the groundwork to make this look a bit nicer. I think we hit the end again, yeah. Really not much room for error here. I mean, we barely made it past the switch. I thought there was at least a little bit more space. But I tried to, again, not extend it too far over the edge of the cliff because that just looks silly. The thing about the missing groundwork here is I'm not completely sure if I want to keep this entire thing around. Now that I built that nice little station down there for the entire expedition, I'm more content on having this stick around, but it's still not completely sure. So, gonna lose the base again. I hope the next switchback will work a bit better, but I again have to test this out a little to see how it works. Get a feeling for it. The switches are going to become more and more frequent now because the part of the mountain that they are building the track on is leveling down. Oh god. Okay, we are not past the switchbacks, past the switch yet. So I'm gonna have to give it a bit more pull. But not too much. Also, I only guesstimated how much space I need for this train. I knew I was going to go with this configuration, but it's not like I measured out how long it would be and therefore how much space behind the switch area is needed. But this worked out pretty well. Also means that potentially I can maybe make some of the stuff even shorter. Especially the next one that's gonna be going over stuff quite a bit. And maybe I should just get rid of the last switchback entirely and put down a staircase. I think at that point it would at least look pretty decent. Because officially there's now another switchback, but it's really not doing much anymore. Let's see, can one engine make it up? I don't think so. So let's give back engine some power and cut the front engine as soon as I see fit. There's the next switchback. Now that this engine is up here. That looked pretty good. There's almost space for another porter engine, and this one is just clear of a switch, so that's good. And yeah, maybe I could just end the entire thing up here and then make a little footpath up there. That could be alright. At least this kinda needs like a little sidewalk because that doesn't feel too secure. Anyways, we are here, we still have the last part to go. So we shall just do that. Oh yeah, I see the end already. Okay, we need to go a slight bit further. Okay, this doesn't pull up anymore. So one engine is not enough if we don't have any momentum to accompany. And boop. Getting all the brakes in, cutting the power. And yeah, that's our trip done here. We are now at one of the highest points on the map. Can look down in multiple different directions, sadly too far away to see the northern logging camp in that direction. Still have that rather lackluster station down there, which is likely one of the next bigger projects that I'm going to do. Another thing I'm considering is rebuilding that logging camp station over there. I want it to just work a bit different than the northern one. Right now, apart from the size of the station accompanying it, the entire idea behind the two is kind of the same, and it's a bit boring. Down there we have our starting point. We can still see the building we started at. So that's the station down there in the center of the screen. And yeah, over there we have a refinery and the... I think it's over there, in that direction. That's the supply area for the smelter. That's the smelter itself. So yeah, quite a few cool things here. And I don't know, I just like the entire thing. So question is, can we make it back down here in one piece? I kinda doubt it. It's definitely not gonna need much power, but a lot of brake management. So let's give it a shot, I guess. The interesting question here would now be, which is the strongest brake? I would assume the caboose. Oh god. Yeah, that doesn't slow down. Okay, but it slows down rather quickly once we get to even ground again, so this might be alright. Just need to pull a bit further to clear the switch. Try not to jump off the side of a mountain. At least going down should be a bit quicker than going up. Yeah, don't go too wide here. Just gonna wait until we catch the decline. Which we are doing now. This is scary. I don't think we are slowing down. By the way, that brake bug does that. Yeah, that seems to also affect the brakes on cars. Kind of figured, but I wanted to try it anyways. So let's go to the backside. Make sure it goes past the switch. Ah, this is working better than the way up. I thought this would be a total catastrophe. But who knows? It's not too late for that to happen. So yeah, let me know what you think about this. I know it's more like an optical thing. It's not really useful for anything. But I wanted to have mountaintop track, and yeah, I think it's kind of how you would expect this stuff to go. So making my way down in a controlled manner, relatively. I remember rebuilding this part at least one time, like completely. Build it all the way up from the ground, and then when coming back down from the top, that was the part that saw the most change. We are not completely clear of the switch yet. Now we are. And we just hit the bumper at the end. But yeah, at least this thing is working, which is nice. Kind of something that I didn't necessarily completely expect. This could have gone wrong. I'm glad it didn't. And here we go. Hitting the brakes again. Going real quick now. I mean, this is still cool. Would be interesting. I know that there are some cars that are actually built in a tilted way, so that if they are on a constant incline track, they would still feel like they are evened out. But I don't think that would be a good idea for this with all the switchbacks, because in one way it would be even, in the other it would be double the tilt. Unless I wanted to add turntables to each and every one of the switchbacks here, I think that would be slight overkill. I was considering on maybe tilting the switchback track a bit further up so that the cars would slow down on their own, but for how short this entire thing is, I don't know if that would be a good idea. I mean, it would have at least a little bit, but I don't know. Could work with maybe this location or some others, but the ones that are already going off a cliff, like that one up there, it would just look like a weird ramp to launch off of. Also, I don't think you can put the end of track device at an angle like that. That's always gonna be flat. Okay, this is surprisingly calm. Let's change that. Oh yeah, now we are on our way back to the coal mine. So after that it's only gonna be the regular way down. Feels a bit weird how it levels out and then goes back to full tilt for a moment. I don't know if I could have made this in a way where I don't need to go over the main track again. But I guess it is what it is. And yeah, since this is also used for industry trains, can I get back down here please? This entire runoff had to be a little bit longer. It's a very cutesy train coming through the station. I mean, if we actually had passengers to be transported, something like that could also be used to get people up here and back down, like workers and such. I don't think everybody can teleport with just the booth over here. I also imagine this being absolutely terrifying when John Railroadson does this. Like, imagine somewhere in the Morse device, there just being a spark which just continuously comes out, and you just see somehow through that spark a hand reaching out to you, and eventually John Railroadson just materializes out of the current. That guy is a bit of a demon. Did I have that point? Okay, that's enough. Not more power, that's gonna be a spicy decline. So taking a moment. But yeah, I think I need to do something at least about the bridge height, but I wish I could just build the entire bridge at an angle. Okay, I think this break is already enough for the entire train now, since the decline is slightly less. Only 7% grading instead of 10. Is this another one of those pre-made paths that are supposed to go up here? It just looked a bit sus there. I know that for some of the industry positions there are paths that are kind of pre-designed to be used. So just put your track on that and that should be alright, but nobody would really need to go up here on the regular map. Oh yeah, also this switchback has that incline at the end. So it should come back down on its own. Bye! I'ma just run down here, flick the switch and then come back up. Or better even wait for the entire train to come back down. I hope it didn't crash into the end there. I don't know how much further that entire thing goes there. Should be coming back down. I don't trust it. It's either gonna come back rushing down in a moment or... Yeah, there it is. Thank God. Didn't completely derail. Nice. If it hit too hard, likely the link would be broken now. I don't think using this without the brace would be recommendable, but I kinda want to see how bad it gets. I think it will get really bad. Whoa, oh, that's not good. Yeah. Welcome to the Lookout Express. Better look out. But we are on the way down, so we don't need any engines. This is not like that one caboose race that Khan and the other guys used to do. Rip the porters and also rip me. That's a sharp corner. Oof. Ouch. Where's the caboose? It's somewhere. Yeah. Imagine it being a completely different car that I lost some time and never noticed. Okay, put it back on. I would like to reach at least the station down there. I know the video is quite long, but for anybody who only cared about the lookout, they could have just turned off at that point. This is now just for completionist sake. Alright. I don't think this should become too bad anymore. We are almost at the point where it kinda evens out a bit. Because yeah, we are practically back on ground. There are some of these weird little nudges that I have that they worked out pretty well when building the entire thing the first time around, but later when actually driving the train up and down, you see that little zigzag and it feels a bit wrong. Oops! Yeah, I saw that being a bit of a sharp turn, and I didn't think too much of it. Well, since we are out of grading here anyways, I may just yeah, let this thing cradle itself to sleep while likely crying from the two derailments, and we are going to walk the rest of way to the station in shame. Because, yeah, that didn't go well. But I guess that's gonna be it for this video. I hope you enjoyed it. I had a lot of fun with this. It's kinda... It's a neat little tech, even though it's completely useless. But it's fun to have something like this in the game. I don't know if it would be a good idea if you could maybe just have little passenger station points everywhere on the map and just yeah, artificially get some demand to get people onto into some places. Like just having a marker for the lookout up there, and yeah, now people always want to go there. But for a one-off thing, definitely fun. Anyways, thanks for watching. See you next time. Bye bye.